Does your toddler have a lot of social anxiety and you're worried that it's going to create a shy person who might be an introvert and have a harder time getting along in the world? Well, if that's you and your child's starting to show signs of anxiety, or maybe it's gotten kind of bad and you'd like to do something about it, I'd like to share a myth with you, debunk it, and give you some tips for how you can get rid of your toddler's anxiety around social situations and help him move forward. The myth that's out there right now about getting rid of toddlers' social anxiety is that you can simply socialize your toddler by putting him into situations where there are lots of other kids running around. So daycares, play groups, that sort of thing. But when researchers actually analyze the data about putting kids into group sessions with a lot of other kids that are shy, and then discovering by looking at the data how many friends are these kids making, are they actually playing with the other kids and all that kind of stuff, what the researchers notice is that daycare type situations or socializing actually tends to do more harm than good when it comes to a kid's ability to develop social skills. I don't know how this got to be such a popular myth that's causing so much damage in our social development of our toddlers and children in society, but it really should have never happened, and here's why. I learned a long time ago, while training my dogs to actually be social, that you don't make a dog be social by tossing him into a pen, especially if there's a bunch of mean dogs in the pen. And one of the easiest ways to understand why this doesn't actually help kids is actually to look at dog training. You see, dog trainers know something about socializing. They're actually experts at it, and so are lots of different animal trainers. And one thing they know is that you cannot just toss a dog, a new puppy, into a pen with a bunch of other dogs and expect the dog to be social. In fact, if you do that, most times the dog ends up being very aggressive around certain types of situations. And here's why. Some of the dogs, if not pre-screened, will be mean to the puppy because they don't have good social skills. They might bite them, they might mount them, they might do just anti-dog social things and kind of break the etiquette and teach your dog to have anxieties about certain types of situations. However, you can actually eliminate that if you'll throw a puppy into a pen with like 30 other dogs multiple times a week as it's growing up that have all been pre-screened to have good doggy social etiquette. If you make that one change, the dog grows up to be incredibly social and have like far superior social skills than any other dogs in other situations. Well, I'm betting your daycare that you might be putting your toddler in or play groups aren't pre-screening their kids to see if they know how to share it to or one, or if they've ever yelled or ever hit another child. And the reason is because it's impossible, right? So we have to look to a different method for eliminating our toddler's anxiety than the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom explains why it actually creates itself, but because we can't manipulate people like we do dogs, we have to move to a different solution. One thing you can try that's very effective that you don't hear a lot of people talking about is something that's called emotional conditioning. You can actually take a child who's got anxiety about going into a social situation because there's fear and actually condition, reprogram their system to actually get excited about social interactions, and here's how it's done. What you can do is you can go look for a local family fun center. Typically these places have lots of slides and climbing stations and bouncy houses and that kind of thing. And that's like toddler heaven for a little 2 or 3-year-old. And then if you want your toddler to meet some new strangers, some new friends maybe you've made, and you'd like there to not be anxiety, and you'd like your child to get a new pattern about when I meet new people, good things always happen, I always have good feelings, then I would suggest that always invite new friends to be introduced to your child only in really exciting situations, like a new bounce house or a fun new maze or a pumpkin patch or something fun. I do this with my own children by formulating a homeschool group. Actually, I didn't formulate it, but a friend of my wife's formulated it. And every week we go do something new and fun. So my child gets to look forward to the next cool social gathering where he gets to do fun stuff and the social anxieties disappear. And it turns out there's a lot of other things you can do, from the type of parenting style. There's a thing called attachment parenting. There's a thing called developing emotional intelligence, and a lot of other things that you can do to improve your toddler's social skills that will eliminate their anxiety in social situations that I don't have time to cover here. But if you'd like to learn more about them, I would encourage you to go visit parentingforsuccess.com. The URL to that website is below here somewhere on this video, where I've got a lot of other resources and research-based stuff that you can look into if you're looking to not only just eliminate social anxieties and awkwardnesses, if that's a word, in your toddler, but also do things like improve willpower, motivation, give them a more go-getter attitude, help them be more caring, more morally have higher moral standards, those sorts of things. And so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, developing your child to their fullest capabilities on all levels, go check out parentingforsuccess.com. I think you'll be glad you did.